And welcome to another California Guy video with your boy California Guy. What's up, everybody, and welcome to this video. This is a kind of a response and a follow-up to my first video, Pro-Black, Ghetto, and Coons. I come here to do this second video because I listened to Penny's Blacks and do his video in response to my video. Now, he says in my last video that I was all over the place. He had some valid, he said there's some points that he agreed with me on about being pro-black. And then, you know, you guys go back and listen to his video. But I'm here to answer some questions. Well, I want to follow up to what he was saying about all over the place. So I'm going to get direct to the point in this particular video. Now, coons, because that's what the whole topic is about. Now, I uploaded my original video. And I put out a few points because he said that the coons was more, you know, they had more class and more intelligence in their videos. Now, I'm here to break all of that down in this video here. Now, the problem with coons and pro-blacks, this battle I see on social media and YouTube. Well, I'm going to go before that. I'm going to take it back. I'm going to give the history of pro-blacks and coons real quick. Pro-blacks and coons go back before even social media was invented. It goes back before probably a lot of us were born. It goes back to at least slavery times, where you had, well, Africa even, where you had African chiefs selling blacks off to white people, slaves, coming to America at the time. And then from America on forward, the field Negro and the house Negro. So you had those two subgroups in this country. Now, how do you define pro-black? How do you define black America even? And how do you define coons? Now, you have three different groups in our communities. You have the pro-black, which is a black person who pretty much loves their heritage. They love their culture. They speak on their culture, black power movement. They talk about the historical factors when it comes to black people across the globe. And for the future, they celebrate Africanness. I'm just throwing my own term. This is made up. They celebrate their people, their culture, hairstyles, kids even having full black kids or wearing certain African attire. So I guess you could call it pro-black. Not per se race baiting, but just being proud of your heritage, loving the motherland. It was many pro-black movements that's happened in this country. You have Pan-Africanism and you have the conscious community. Now, do you have some people in the communities that you may not get along with certain points? Yes, you do have those individuals that you may not per se get along with. Now, you have regular black people, regular African American people, where they know their culture. They could go either or. Their views or their viewpoint of life is, I want to make it in this country, but I could take or leave my heritage. I could go either way. I love some parts of my heritage. Maybe I agree with some parts of the coons. They're pretty much balanced, you know. I love America. I don't really love America, but I'm black and I know it and I recognize it. And that's regular black America. Now, you have the coons, which is Uncle Tom's. Uncle Tom is a person who sells out their black people. That's an Uncle Tom. They don't care about regular black people and they don't care about pro-black people. They're for assimilation into a white dominant society. They justify anything that's racist in the United States and around the world. That's a coon and that's a Uncle Tom. That's where we're gonna get deeper into. Now, I watch a lot of black YouTube channels. In fact, I watch a lot of Uncle Tom channels, a lot of coon channels, because I watch The Enemy. I watch a lot of conservative media even, too, believe it or not, because you know, I'm a Democrat and I do political stuff also. So I'm a devout Democrat and a liberal. So I watch conservative news, and me being pro-black and proud to be black, I watch a lot of coon news. But I'm not going to go into the conservative ideology right now. I'm going to go into just per se the coons. We're talking about Uncle Tom's and the black community. Now, when I look, and I'm going to challenge Penny on this. Penny says he reads a lot of books. Before social media was invented, before Facebook and YouTube even was created, I was reading different books on the black experience. I read different books. I've studied in college. Black African American Studies was a minor of mine. I have a history degree, so I know a lot about U.S. history, and I know a lot about Black history even. And so I could parallel both ideologies together. I could marry the two. Now, me being a follower of, because it's always good to look at the enemy. Now, I'm going to take it back before YouTube. I'm going to break this down. You guys follow what I'm about to say. Back in the day, I used to read a guy by the name of Larry Elder. And I know you guys are familiar with Larry Elder. Larry Elder is a judge and a former lawyer, and he's a black conservative. He's an activist, black conservative activist. He has radio shows, he's had TV shows. Now, in his books that he has had, he's written different books, and in his books and on his radio shows, he's advocated that he does not like Martin Luther King. Now, this is before social media, before YouTube and anything else. This man has said this made a career of dogging black people out for about 30 years and more. And he has said rude, disrespectful things about black people. Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, Al Sharpton. He's laid vicious attacks on African Americans, basically saying that they're not shit, and that, you know, they need to stop race baiting. And he's used his own background as a way to trash African American people and the social class of black American people in this country, which black people impoverished still and live in poverty. Whereas Larry Elder has said basically that's what black people get. He will never ever point out what white people do in this country, but it's always blacks, and he offers no solutions. His ideology is the same as Jesse Lee Peterson. His ideology is the same as Juan Williams. His ideology is the same as Starr, this black woman named Starr that writes, I forgot her last name. And his ideology is the same way as Thomas Sowell. So now you're saying, now these are people that I just mentioned who has a high class of education. These people are very highly educated individuals. They've written books, and again, I've read all their books that I just mentioned. Thomas Sowell is a black author who's in his 80s, and he's written books on economics, is a neocon and a self-right coon, Uncle Tom. Oh, and I forgot Clarence Thomas. Now, these people have ideologies, and they have higher education, but they've been known to viciously attack black people through their education. Now, these are tools of white supremacy. Now, let's break down the YouTube factor. A lot of black YouTubers that's Uncle Tom's, the coon side. Now, they're not the same as the people that I mentioned, but they've mimicked every last one of their point of views. And here's one. Why should black people complain about black on black crime? I mean, not black on black crime, my mistake. Why should black people, let me rephrase this. Why should black people complain about racism in the workplace, racism on the streets with police officers, racism with white vigilantes when black people kill each other every day? That's the argument that coons make. Until we clean up our own stuff, then we need to deal with racism, which makes absolutely no sense. And here's why. Pro-blacks like myself attack coon ideology is because the police is here to serve and protect. A drug dealer killing a black man, he's a criminal. So when we try to compare the two, what can we do? And see, that's the ignorant thought of a coon. Coons have told me this, by the way. I've been on radio shows with Uncle Tom's and Oreo cookies, and they've told me this, and they've told other pro-black YouTubers this. And they said, well, what about black on black crime? What about black unwed marriage? And that's stuff that the regular Uncle Tom say. And guess who else says it? White people have said. So you're mimicking different ideals down. Now, with that being said, white people started this shit first by saying the stuff that the coons are saying. Now, here's the question about the coons in their class. Why don't coons offer up solutions? Now, a lot of pro-blacks, whether you like them or not, have offered solutions to certain problems. Not all solutions are perfect, but they've offered solutions to practical problems at times. Some may be laughable to you, others it may not be so laughable. But the Coons never offer up they never offer up solutions, and I've read dozens of Coon literature. I've listened to radio. I still do, because again, I watch Coon YouTube channels. I watch more Coon YouTube channels probably than I do pro blacks, and here's the reason why. Because 9 times out of 10, a pro black is saying kind of what I'm saying. So I kind of like listening to what the enemy is saying. And so when I listen to what the enemy is saying, he offers nothing. All he says is black people, all the Coons say is black people are not nothing. Black people can't get stuff together. That's why I joined up with white people. And the case closed. Now, the Coons get on there and they repeat the same line every night, either on BTR or their video channels. And that's it. And each time a racist thing happens, the black people are the victims. Now, the Coons that's on YouTube. Now, I'm going to break down the Coons on YouTube real quick. People that was your enemies at first, Mr. Blackston, they have never, the Coons have been ghetto. Now, I'm not talking about the upper echelon Coons like Larry Elder. I'm talking about just on YouTube alone. All they've managed to do is take black people's defaults on YouTube, pro blacks, take their defaults and point fun of it. The Coons target the pro blacks majority of the time. That's just a fact. Majority of the time, Coons call into radio shows, pro black radio shows actually, and they argue with them or they troll them. They make videos, they argue and troll them, and they ask rhetorical questions. Like one in particular, I watched a YouTube channel, and the black guy was saying in his video, well, where are your Coons at in Anaheim, California? He was like, well, where are your pro-blacks at? He was poking fun saying, where's the pro-blacks at? Why won't the pro-blacks go and beat up the Klan? Just dummy stuff like that. Like, in fact, a lot of pro-blacks don't even live in California. But some may live in New York, New Jersey, and a lot of places all over the country. But the Coons, what they do is they antagonize. They go on certain black YouTube, and I don't even want to call them Coons. I call them trolls. Some of them, I just call them trolls that like start mess. Some they troll, or maybe they're a fan of a particular YouTuber, and they repeat some of their ideology, and then they use the ideology to attack maybe other black YouTubers that they don't agree with. That's what a lot of Coons do. They've attacked you even. They've attacked other black YouTubers. They've attacked me even at times. Some of it went against me. Now, black YouTube people, I think on both sides, I think that the pro-blacks take the heat majority of the time more than the Coons. When I've witnessed the Coons do some really ghetto stuff, and I've seen them upload videos, I've seen them cuss people out, I've seen them talk about, and I agree with some other black YouTubers on this point of view, that they've attacked dead people. They've attacked black deceased individuals, and I'm a witness to it because I was on radio shows where I've listened to some Coons, and I'm not going to say their names, some Coons make fun and say they don't give a damn about a black man being killed. And they've stuck with it like water. I've given examples to them, like, well, what if, and they didn't give a fuck. So that's not intelligence, that's just pure idiotic to me. And the Coons have never offered a solution. Only thing the Coons is good at doing is telling you how bad black people could be, how bad black community is, how bad black leaders is. They never say, well, okay, we're going to start a reading program. We're going to start a breakfast club for kids that can't eat. I never hear them say that stuff. I've always heard them talk about how bad black people is, just the destruction of the black community, and why they hate black people, why black women is bad, why white women is better, or why black women got hairheads, or they're black bitches. I didn't know that was intelligent to say that. Or black women have all these different babies. Again, I didn't know that was intelligent stuff, which is not intelligent. Or black women going out with white men. I've listened to some, but again, I've listened to a whole bunch of this stuff. I listen. I sub and listen to a lot of their stuff, and I've listened to it, and nothing that they're saying is really, really intelligent to me. Some black YouTubers that's on the coon side has made it a career and doing successful with bashing black women and saying how they can't date this woman. Let me think of one real quick. One black YouTuber that just came to my head said in his video that he went with a white female and she went to the club with him and she ended up liking the black men. Now this was from a black YouTuber, and I didn't get nothing intelligent out of that point of view, but he said that. And then I've heard other examples of black YouTubers bashing black women for going with white men. I've heard that. That's just coming from Coon's mouth with no scientific evidence to back up what they're saying, even though you have black men that date white women. Then I've heard Coons talk about certain big cases, and they've bashed the black people for being victims of police brutality and murder. So little things like that. Then I've seen some black Coons get on radio shows and bash the black radio hosts and call them names and pretend that they're shucking and jiving in order to get the white viewers to prove to the white viewers that they could beat the pro-blacks. And this is from a black YouTuber right now. I'm not going to say his name, who don't show his face but have his t-shirt, and he decides to go, when he feels like it, trolling on radio shows to attack black men that are pro-black. And he goes on there to get his white audience. That's to get white supremacy, to show them that these niggas ain't nothing. That's what he's basically doing when he goes after us, calling into radio shows to call us niggas, saying us niggas, we ain't so tough, trying to show the white people that we're nothing. That's what they do. Excuse me, because I know I'm flipping my words around. So I don't see the Coons doing nothing no different than the pro-blacks. I would say to categorize both, to be honest with you, and just say black YouTube. I would not separate the two by calling them one is better than the other, or one is this way, one is classic. Because I see some ignorant ass Coons. And I see a lot of, I sub to at least about 14 Coon channels. I sub to 14 Coon channels and some white channels. And I could tell you, and I have a bunch of YouTube channels myself, and I can say, man, they nothing intelligent comes out their mouth. Now, at least with like Ron Williams or Larry Elder, you may get something that come out of there, but it's nothing intelligent. Look at Pastor Manning, for example. Pastor Manning does not say nothing proper in his videos. He hates Obama for no reason. He hates black people for no reason, and he's flip-flopped on a lot of his own issues. So, you know, before we start bashing pro-blacks, let's ask ourselves this question. What has Coons offered? See, black people is scared to ask Coons these questions because maybe they're intimidated by Coons. I'm not intimidated by a fucking Coon. Because that's what they are, a fucking Coon, a fucking idiot. That's why you don't see me really mention their names in my title. Because I'm not going to waste my time talking about some Coon and arguing with them and telling them how beautiful black woman is. Because a lot of them have bashed black women. I love black women. Black woman is the soul of the earth. And a lot of them have made fun of that. A lot of Coons have made fun of black kids even. I've seen other videos that made fun of black kids. I may one day do a video showcasing this spider web of Coons, because it's a big web of Coons, and you know, we need to cut it out on what's pro-black and what's Coon, and just chill the fuck out. It's no attack against people, but you know, I think we should categorize both sides. So that's just me. Sorry, I was looking at the time, people. But like and share this video. I just thought to do this follow-up video. This was all over the place. So I don't really have a format for my video. This was off the cuff. When I do videos, it's off the cuff. So I don't really write and plan what I'm about to say. And I didn't have all my notes around me. But stay tuned, people, to my next video where I discuss the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton's win in Tuesday's upcoming elections. Peace out.